Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sallystampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I am bringing you my box on a card. Now I know that these have been around for quite some time, but I've never got round to making one. Whoops! I've never had the fun of making one, but I really like them and I think they would make great place settings on a table. Or just simply as a slightly different gift. Clearly the envelope would be an issue. But I really like it, and I just think that these cute little boxes would hold a nice little stash of after dinner mints or just some chocolates or anything really, but I think it's really lovely. So I'm going to show you how I made this one. So I'm going to make the card base first because I think that's slightly tricky in terms of cutting out and layering. So you need your general card base, which is a sheet of A4 scored in half and then cut in half. So this is 14.9 by 21 and scored at 10.5. Now, for some reason, my cards are always in centimetres and my 3D projects are in inches. I don't know why. For some reason, when I was trying to do the card base, I was doing it in inches and couldn't understand why nothing was working. It's because I'd mixed measurements up, honestly. So card base, so your white layer needs to be 14.4 by 10 and your DSP needs to be 13.9 by 9.5. So then we're going to do some trimming. So with your card base, you'll need to do some measuring. So yes, get that dreaded ruler back out. So we are going to measure 2.5 centimetres in. And just put a little mark, and then your gap needs to be 5 centimetres, so I'm going to put another mark here. Then you need to do 3.5 centimetres deep, so that is to there, that is to there. That wasn't quite right, but we'll be okay. And that should then create a square. You see that? So then you have to be brave. You have to be brave and put it in the trimmer. Now I'm happy to line my pencil line up with the groove on my trimmer. And then I have a line here on my trimmer blade that I will line up with this line. So let's see how that goes. So that's lined up. My jumper's not trapped in the trimmer. I'm going to go all the way down. I apologise if my head's in the way. Move it across. Do the same again. And I also have a line this side so I can see both sides. And then you're going to turn it round. And this is where it becomes slightly trickier. Now you can eyeball it. I can now see the pencil line through my track, but I don't want to be cutting from that edge. So I'm going to move my blade so it's right in the centre of the piece I'm cutting. And you can actually do this by feel, because you can actually feel the blade stop cutting once you get to the point you need to be at. Now you might struggle for it to go through both thicknesses of card, but that's fine because we already have this piece anyway. So flip it over, take this out of the way, and then just cut down where you needed it to be. This bit's a bit tricky here. But to be fair, most of the cutting's done. Yes, this is extremely tricky. The other option obviously would be to put it back in and cut. There we go. And it's still not quite got the edges. Goodness me. My original didn't have this problem. There we go. Just trim a tiny bit if you need to. just to neaten those edges up. Okay, so there's that point out. I'm just going to get, oops, my eraser here and just get rid of those pencil marks. Equally because it's a dark base and they do show up. Okay, so now I have to do the same with my Whisper White. So this time, and these measurements on, I will do, I would write them down, take a photograph, because it's really hard to try and explain the measurements written down without a diagram. So I will take a picture of the diagram and put it on my blog so you can see which bits to measure. Okay, so Whisper White, we are now going to measure 2 centimetres from the edge. We are going to give a 5.5 centimetre gap, and then we are going to measure 3.5 centimetres down. Same again this side. Now equally, if you wanted to not have the layering, then you could simply stick your layers on and cut, but you just wouldn't have the edge here and here. Okay, so you can do this with scissors if you want, if you find it easier. I prefer to use my trimmer just because it's neater. That's the way I see it anyway. Neater and cleaner. And of course you're not cutting through 2 pieces of card here, so that will easily sort itself out. Right, get rid of the pencil lines. And this should now layer onto your base, which it does. So I'm going to stick that down. Oops, missed a bit. So I'm going to stick that down onto my card base. And then I'm going to do my DSP. And this time it's 1.5 centimetres from the edge and 6 centimetres wide, and again 3.5 deep. Now you'll notice that this hasn't changed, and that's because we've obviously taken already taken the measurements off the DSP because it's slightly smaller every time we do it. I'm going to use my scissors on this one, I think, just to show you that it is just as easy. I'm just going to use my larger ones for this section. Okay, and then again just in with this, get rid of those marks. And this should also now sit nicely on your card. Perfect. Okay, get my adhesive on, not on me, and pop this on too, stuck to my finger there. Okay, so there is my beautiful card base. I'm going to very quickly grab some basic white and some cherry cobbler and my Christmas to remember and my sentiment. So I'm going to pop this, just get rid of that trimmer. Whoops, pop this in the centre there. Get rid of that because I don't need that again. And my seasonal labels, which is this one. And my lovely, this one I think it was, yes, run this through my mini. Make sure my die is the right way round because I don't want to be cutting the wrong way. I'm just going to go slightly to the right because I want to make room for my holly leaves. Let's run that through. You notice how much easier it is for me to use this now. I think I've learnt. I've got new plates and it all works just perfectly now. Okay, I don't know why that's dirty though, that's frustrating. Right, this just gets stuck on with some dimensionals. Really simple. The box is super simple to make. I don't know why this is so dirty. And I'm just going to pop this there. Let me just see if I can... There must be something on my embossing plate that's making things dirty. So perhaps that bit of adhesive there. Okay, so that's that bit done. I have this beautiful holly border punch, maybe. And I have some garden green here, so I'm just going to pop this in one side because I only want these 2 leaves for this one. So we'll get rid of this. And just a couple of glue dots. So one there and one just there, and then where have they gone? Some real red beautiful rhinestones just to add my berries, just because it's so much easier than those fiddly little bits off the punch, because they would be impossible. And that's my card made up. So all I need to do now is quickly make my box, which is super easy. Okay, so for your base you'll need a piece of card that is 7 by 7, 18 by 18 centimetres. I'm going to score all of our sides at 2.5 inches, which will be 6.5 centimetres. Take that out, fold, but you know how to do this now. Fold, burnish, cut our wedges. So when you're doing this bit, you'll need to trim these down a little bit, because these are a bit too long for what we need. But you don't have to pick a particular size. Just, whoops, I forgot to trim it, didn't I? Trim it down. And don't forget that just because we no longer have Salybration, that doesn't mean that I'm still not looking for people to join my team, the Stampettes. Have a look on my blog. There's plenty of information under the join my team bit, and yeah, come and have a look, come and see. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. I absolutely love what I do. I have made so many fantastic new friends that kind of kept me going through lockdown as well. You don't have to do tutorials like I do. You don't have to do classes. You can simply join just to get a discount on your own crafty supplies. I mean, how cool is that? That's all I did initially. But yeah, go and have a look on my blog. All the information's on there that you will need. So there is the box itself. The box lid is 3.5 by 3.5 centimetres, 9.9 centimetres, which is, and then we're going to score it at 3/4, which is 2 centimetres with a shim. I'm going to have to use this bit of green because I didn't have anything else handy. So 3/4, all 4 sides with your shim, which is 2 centimetres. Okay, and then exactly the same principle here. Fold, burnish, trim those corners. Trying to be quick now because we're down to the last little bit. And you can decorate your boxes and cards which way you like. Okay, so that's out of the way. Let's add some DSP. Now I have laid these onto some basic white. So the piece for your lid will be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, or 4.5 by 4.5. When I added my Whisper White, I literally added 1/8 of an inch to what I was to the DSP. So as simple as that. And then these 4 sections are 1 3/4 by 1/2 inch. And as I say, I literally just added 1/8 of an inch and then just stuck them on. So there is my lid decorated. Make the lid up now. Come on, don't play that game. And then pop this on here, and then we just need to decorate our box. Pop that on there, that sits on there. Just be mindful that you're not catching the edges of the box when you're putting it in. So we just need to decorate this. So I'm just going to punch, whoops. So I want 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 little one. I think that'll do for this one. And then in fact, I actually used, and if you could use anything, but I actually used my garden green marker here, and I actually just made lines on the leaves. You see that? Yeah. So I literally just pen marked the sprigs on, or the veins. I'm sure there is a technical name. I'm sure somebody will let me know, but yeah, just to make them look a little more leaf-like, shall we say. There we go. And then I'm just going to pop these on again with some glue dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then you just simply place these, well, however and wherever you wish, really. Oops. Obviously don't press too hard on your box if you're trying to press your adhesive down. You don't want to mess it up too much. And then the last thing is just some more of these gorgeous rhinestones. They're actually just red rhinestones, not real red. My mistake. Oops. The fiddly last part. Always putting the gems on. Oh, crikey. Come on. Thank you. I did get a little bit carried away actually with the gems on the other box, as I will show you in just a second. And then this should, famous last words. Okay, this doesn't fit. It's going to go, no. Oh, there we go. It does fit with a little bit of, oh no, for some reason it doesn't fit, but my last one did. Right, I'm going to be really naughty here and just take a slither off here. You watch this now be too loose. There we go, perfect. But yes, look at the state. Look how many gems I put on that one. I seriously got carried away. But yeah, I'll put them that way, then you can see better. But those are my boxes on a card. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.